The end of what we know is near. The story of 6 years is wrapping after so many memories that got carved in our hearts. The story might be the ending for some of our beloved characters, however, it's just the starting for others. But the end is not the end. The end is the start of a new beginning. Today, we are laying the foundation of a great ending to the journey with our girls. At least, how we know them now. And in the 2 series video, we will explain the core concepts of Project Stigmata and finally, predict the final battle. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Marks the corresponding to those left on Jesus' body by the crucifixion, said to have been impressed by divine favor on the bodies of the saints. People who have such marks exhibit wounds that duplicates or represents those that Jesus is said to have endured during his crucifixion. This is the definition of stigmata. After the resurrection of Alicia and the flame chasers, laying their story for the next generation to witness, it's time for action. Kevin Kaslana, the warrior who is carving his way to salvation, is finally on the application part of Project Stigmata. So today, we will discuss Project Stigmata. What is it? The identity and the power of air from World Serpent. Who is the will of Honkai? How Otto has been implementing his version of Project Stigmata since the moment he got his hands on the Project Ember. And finally, Kevin's version of it. Project Stigmata is the act of binding every human soul and consciousness together, melting them all into one entity called Adam al-Ruhani, which can be defined as a god that transcends time while the souls of the people fall into an eternal dream. The next part will be the material world and the spiritual world swapping. After all humans disappear and fall into their dreams, World Serpent will recreate the world for all new humans. Honkai energy will circle in everybody's body, and there will be no Herrscher. Sounds insane, right? Well, what if I told you I already experienced this on 3 different occasions already? The first time was in the second Honkai eruption in Siberia. Serene awakened. An abused child was graced by the will of Honkai to carry the torch of her, the great being that we can only see a broken part of her as a statue on the moon. So many sacrifices were made to stop the graced child, but it was only made by the unique ability Cecilia Sheriak showed against resisting the 8th Herrscher power, Herrscher of sentience, that Serene was able to copy from Fahuandong, from Fua, which Durandal, non-surprisingly, can demonstrate as well, and clapped everyone out of such realistic dream where a hit can make you bleed, and people like Siegfried were unable to distinguish it from reality. Hare's ability is called Dreamcatcher. Sounds familiar? In the chapter EX, we get to have a very great conversation between May and Raven, and it goes as follows. May, are you saying that at this moment we are walking in the dreams of that old man from before? Raven, that's right. This is Hare's specialty, which is called Dreamcatcher. May, it sounds like an ability which can only be possessed by the Herrscher of sentience, right? That's why the sire sent Hare to Taishuan Mountain when that happened before. However, she doesn't seem to be interested in the Herrscher. By the time she slowly made her way up there, the matter had already been resolved by our comrades. Now bloody sacrifices have become tender dreams. Grey Serpent's word. You can think that way. After all, in the current Stigmata plan, the old humans will gradually connect in the form of dreams and eventually become the Stigmata of new humans. Hence, I have a solid belief that Cecilia is heir in that situation, other than the fact that we know the voice actor is gonna be the same. The second occasion has been Otto's utilization of Stigmata on Valkyries with high adaptability. However, those Stigmatas look like certain people, from the Valk's life, or sometimes exchangeable. Hence, the Valkyries don't even know who they are. Himiko was a prime example for the adaptability principle. She could not adapt Stigmata or Honkai, yet her memories were stored in the core. Hence Kiana, carrying Himiko's memories, has now turned into Stigmata she can wear. In other words, Stigmata can be the memories of such people who mend with Honkai and leave memories in the greater network that flows in the imaginary tree called Honkai, to be carried by the people who have Honkai adaptability. The third time was very recent. Yeah, the Elysian Realm. In it, we meet the memories of the Flame Chasers, who happen to be sentient simulation, who gets updated by the original person's memory, until they perish. And surprisingly enough, their memories don't. However, unlike anything else, the Valkyries we get are imaginary characters, such as Eden and Pardo, as they are connected to the full Honkai network through Project Stigmata. Same way as Bianca and her imaginary battle suit. Grishu as a psych, because she's still alive. Aponia as Bayu, because she was the real Aponia and her real body has turned and been sacrificed to become the actual Elysian Realm. But that leaves us with Vilvi and Alicia. Vilvi has a deep connection to the cosmos and the Sea of Quanta through her helix. She was responsible for the cosmic Juggernaut, which took Sue through a 50,000-year journey between universes. But that finally leaves Alicia. Why is she a psychic? Well, from the EX chapter, we get to know that Alicia herself became the connection between the Honkai network. Hence, she never really died. She only became a part of the bigger picture, which is Project Stigmata. In ER, we got to witness how the power of the memories were able to connect and bring back a fully sentient Alicia. In other words, we reconnected to the Honkai network and connected back to Alicia to call her back, making Elysian Realm a small Project Stigmata, a successful one at that. But if we already experienced what Project Stigmata feels like, why was Otto's last words to Teresa is to stop Kevin? Who is the will of Honkai? And how the recent trailer gave us so many clues about the final battle and how will it collide. Adam Rouhani is a member of the cosmological doctrines. He is definitely distant from the other cosmological doctrines. This distance is what mortals call time, a belated eternity, a heavenly rift that cannot be crossed by common sense. Humans think Adam Rouhani as the product of their own dreams, but the same applies to humans for Adam Rouhani. His words are like our sleep talking. He has no present or past. Everything happens in the future. He can neither die, nor think like a human being, nor reproduce offspring. He exists there forever, as the ladder leading from the human world to the higher world. Yes, this is the true meaning of Project Stigmata. Whether bloody or delirious, whether physical or spiritual, they are all just means, not ends. The essence of the project is a chain that binds together those who cannot save themselves. We could simply let them go with the flow, or we could do what we could to give them assistance. Now, this assistance for them is this grand ecstasy, a dream which they become atoms, in which they are transformed into the cosmological doctrine. The world of reality will lose its meaning for them, and the dream of eternity will become their only reality. They will no longer think of time. Their dreams will be connected to each other, and together they will create a true miracle beyond the end. This is the explanation of Project Stigmata. It's a bloody attempt made by Dr. May and Dr. Mobius in order to create their own god out of the souls of the weak in order to create a new race. Otto might have been the villain that everyone wanted to believe to hate, but in reality, he's not the worst evil we are encountering. On the other side, Kevin stands hopeless and clinging to the last plan his lover left to him to execute. He was made the villain. He was forced into that position, and still hopeful in giving our girls one more fight to defeat him and give him salvation that he truly wants. And as the plan goes into execution phase, the will of Honkai crumbles, laid off its 50,000 years of duty. Prometheus, like a Trojan virus, she invaded the imaginary tree and spawned infinite versions of herself to shackle the Honkai into the will or consciousness. This is to ensure that all developments of the Honkai in the current era will go almost exactly like the previous one, probably to ensure that the Herrscher of the end stays relative and the same as the last era. How will the story unfold? What did the trailer give us? And what's the core that will light up the earth on fire? All of that will be in part 2. Until then, let's fight for everything beautiful in the world.